The path to financial freedom and wealth is not an easy one, or everyone you know would be rich and never have to worry about things like not having money to pay the rent. Becoming wealthy is like attempting to swim across a giant ocean. And in that ocean, along the way, you're going to come across people, and these people are stuck in the ocean. But rather than trying to swim out of it, they're people who are choosing to stay where they're at, latching onto anything that their arms can reach and grab onto. Now, as you pass through the ocean, you realize that these people, they aren't really people, and instead, they're things like fancy cars, yachts, big homes, and interest payments. Those who are wise know that it takes very little to sink a boat. In fact, a hole no bigger than a marble can, over time, sink something as large as a cruise ship. So as you pass through the ocean, all these people will reach out for you, and while they appear to want to help you, they actually want nothing more than to grab you and to sink you to the bottom of the ocean. They're like heavy anchors or like powerful magnets, and you're like a large piece of iron trying to do nothing more than make your way through the ocean to get out on the other side. Imagine a man comes up to you one day and he tells you about this amazing suit that he just bought. And he looks at you with so much joy and so much excitement, and he tells you that he can't believe that he was trusted to purchase the suit, meaning he can't believe somebody actually loaned him the money to get it. Now, if this man makes all of his payments on time, he can keep the suit. But in the process, he is unknowingly training himself to sink to the bottom of the ocean. You see, our entire society, whether we realize it or not, basically consists of people who loan out money and then people who borrow that money. And the more that you borrow money and the more that you take on bad debt, the more that you train yourself to do more of the same. Now, the man with the suit has done nothing more than borrow money for something that he really can't afford. And in the process, he has trained himself to continue to do more of that thing. Now, what do you think happens when we all continue to train the habit of borrowing money for things that we truly can't afford? All of you know how bad it feels to be upside down in a car loan or to owe more money for your car than it is actually worth. That, my friends, is a terrible feeling. My first ever financed car was actually a Hyundai. And even on a car that is so cheap, I was severely underwater on my loan, and my interest rate was something ridiculous like 29%. But I was young and I didn't know any better when I accepted the loan. Some would call this working for a dead horse. Every piece of bad debt that you take on, it's like one more anchor attaching itself to you as you try to escape the ocean of poverty. All the money that you borrow for a car that you truly cannot afford, or for a house that is too big for you, each one is like another anchor ready to sink you at the first chance that it gets. Bad debt is actually all around us, but it's disguised as anything but what it actually is. Bad debt is when you borrow money for things like liabilities, like a really nice car that has no way of generating any profits for you. Good debt, on the other hand, is like a small life vest, and if you know how to do it right, you can use it to escape the ocean of poverty much more quickly. Good debt is borrowing money to start a business or to buy things that will turn a profit for you, or things that will make you more money than you borrowed. An example of this would be a merchant borrowing money to purchase inventory or goods that he will end up selling at a higher price than what he had purchased them for. One of the biggest retail giants in the world right now is Walmart, and all Walmart does is buy products at a low price and then resell them for a higher price. Getting into debt for liabilities, or for things that you eat or drink, or things that lose value over time rather than gaining value, like expensive cars, it's like grabbing every single anchor that you can find as you try to cross the ocean. Now, the reason that bad debt is so bad is because it comes with interest, meaning you must pay money to borrow money, and the interest payments for most liabilities can be extremely high. Now, creditors, due to interest payments, actually get richer while they sleep, while the people who borrow the money end up getting poorer. Bad debt is to be avoided at all costs, and bad debt, in most cases, is just money that we borrow to buy things that we don't need to try to impress people that we don't even know or like. It's kind of funny, isn't it? They always say that money is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. So when you take on bad debt and you have to make interest payments, you are effectively making money a master over you. And so long as you are drowning in bad debt, you will always be a slave to money rather than having money be your loyal servant. People often wonder why credit card companies are able to be so generous, giving you thousands upon thousands of dollars to draw from with their credit lines. And it's only when you look at the interest rates for these cards or for these credit lines, which are regularly anywhere between 15 to 29%, that you begin to realize the true cost of what you are actually borrowing. If you buy a luxury vehicle at 29% interest rate with a standard 5-year loan, you will most likely pay 2 or even 3 times what that vehicle is worth in interest alone over those 5 years. See, bad debt knows absolutely no boundaries, and like a heavy anchor in the ocean, it will easily sink anybody who is trying to escape the ocean of poverty that 90% of us are stuck in. So you have to avoid it at all costs. This is Money Secrets, showing you the secret side of money. And with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.